All right, so earlier this morning, they had a Suikoden event where they showed off, I guess, the Suikoden anime, which will be coming out in 2026. But they also revealed this trailer, the Suikoden Star Leap battle trailer. Let's check it out. If you follow this channel, you know I'm a big fan of Suikoden. I played all the games on the channel, all 8 of them. So let's go ahead and start this up here.
At a village located on the margins of a lake, just east of the Scarlet Moon Empire.
East of the Scarlet Moon Empire. Scarlet Moon Empire is where Suikoden 1 took place.
Tragedy strikes from the shadows.
紋章を素直に渡した方が身のためですよ。逃げろ。
さあ、我によこせ、その力を。
The heroes set out on a journey towards recovery. Along the way, you will encounter various...
So, very traditional Suikoden style combat, of course. And then you have some enemies from the Suikoden series. You have the Wild Boar and the Bonbon, otherwise known as, like, was it Furball in the HD version? But in the original game, the blue furball looking thing was called Bonbon.
enemies. This game makes use of a timeline command-based battle system. Make use of attacks, runes,
Yep, so obviously you got runes just like you had in the Suikoden series.
and secret techniques, which
There was no secret techniques in Suikoden. You had obviously some characters have like special runes, you know, outside like the elemental runes and stuff. Like for instance, like the Falcon rune, you know. But it's not like Aiden Chronicles, which had it had some of the characters have special attacks and everything. There was only a handful of the like special runes in the Suikoden games, like between like 5 and 10 of them, or whatever. It was like 5 or 10 characters that had like a special rune, you know, not too many of them. We'll have to see if every character has a special attack or not. We don't know that information yet.
are activated when the gauge is full.
But I guess these are basically like limit breaks.
These 3 moves all have different effects and cool-off time.
Cool. Yeah, they each have their own cooldown time. So if you use it, you won't be able to use it for a while. You have to wait a few turns to use it again, which makes sense because it's like an ultimate attack, right?
So combine them for maximum efficiency and effect.
And you should remember these 3. This is the 3 enemies you encounter in the forest leading to Gregminster in Suikoden 2. These 3 were not in Suikoden 1. They were in Suikoden 2 in that forest leading to Gregminster. Forget their names, but there was 3 of them, and they're actually in Star Leap. They're playable in Star Leap, so you can actually get them in your party and all that stuff, so that's cool.
In addition, by focusing your attacks on the enemy's weaknesses.
Okay, this is very similar to Persona or Shin Megami Tensei. If you hit a weak spot, you'll actually stun the enemy.
You can aim to unbalance them, creating an opening to inflict massive damage.
Yep, so you can see by the stars above their head that that character's been stunned for 1 turn, so they have to skip their whole turn. So that's really powerful. That's actually better than Shin Megami Tensei and Persona, because you you're preventing that character from acting for one turn instead of in Shin Megami Tensei or in Persona you get an extra turn, right? You get an extra action if you hit a weak spot. And this I guess technically you don't get extra action in this, so I guess it could technically be worse because you're just preventing the enemy from attacking. So it's a bit slower because obviously in Shin Megami and Persona you're getting an extra action, and that's very aggressive. You're getting more attacks, so you're playing out more aggressively. You're gonna be able to defeat the enemies quicker that way by getting an extra turn. Whereas in this, you don't get an extra turn, but instead you cripple an enemy for one turn. So it's more defensive in this game as compared to Shin Megami Tensei, where it's more aggressive because you're getting more turns in Shin Megami. But it is very similar to that. And even the weak thing kind of let's go back here. Even the weak thing, yeah, look at that. That kind of reminds me of like Persona or whatever. But hey, it was a good system, and hitting a weak spot, it was a cool system and everything. And it's not like it's anything new though, because Final Fantasy did it as well. But Final Fantasy, you didn't get any benefits from hitting a weak spot except for extra damage. You didn't get an extra turn in Final Fantasy, and you didn't get it didn't stun the enemy or anything like that. Well, in the later games it did. Like Final Fantasy 13, if you hit a weak spot, sometimes it'll help to stagger or whatever, but the old Final Fantasies, there was no benefit to hitting a weak spot except for increased damage.
You can aim to unbalance
So I like this right here. This is good.
them, creating an opening to inflict massive damage.
俺は旋風のバルカス
And here we have Varkas and Sidonia from Suikoden 1. They were also, Varkas was in Suikoden 2, but he didn't have a portrait in Suikoden 2. And he was not playable in Suikoden 2 either.
おいシドニアおめえも名乗れよ
Next, make use of chains, which activate when 4 or
Okay, so then we got chains. As you can tell on the bottom down there, that's the turn order, I guess. And since they're all chained together, they'll do like a special unite attack, I guess.
chains, which activate when 4 or more allies are lined up and launch strategic attacks. Each and every choice you make affects the battle before you.
And you get increased damage, as you can tell, plus 100% damage, so that's times 2 damage. And the fact that Varkas and Sidonia survived more than one turn is surprising. They were super easy boss in Suikoden 1, so this game's going to be a bit harder. What you can expect from a gacha game. Usually they're harder and eventually get to the point where you have to spend on the game. Now they said that this game's going to be entirely free to play. The only thing that's going to be pay to win, well, not really pay to win, but the only thing you have to pay for is the characters from the other Suikoden games. But there's going to be 108 Stars of Destiny in this game, and they're going to be completely free. And then the old characters from the Suikoden series are going to be behind a paywall, which is fine because you get 108 new characters, right? Well, not all of them are going to be new, but most of them are going to be new. And then you just got to pay for the old characters, which you don't even have to do that. You've already played with them in the old games. You don't really need to. You don't have to spend. It's optional, I'm going to spend, of course. I'm going to try to get all of them, but you don't have to. That's the point. This game's going to be probably pretty free to play friendly.
Many powerful enemies will tower before the hero.
はい
この魔性
We got
石
some new characters as well. These characters are new.
をやる
僕を敵に回すからこうなるんだよ
And then here we have some characters from the Suikoden series. You have Vincent in the top right. The character on the bottom right looks like Sergeant Joe from Suikoden 3, but a lot younger. I don't know if it's like just how they did the portrait or what, but I think that's Sergeant Joe, I think. But it could be like a new character as well, but I think it's Sergeant Joe. And then to the left of Sergeant Joe, if it is Sergeant Joe, is Stallion. And then the other two characters, I think the one in the middle at the top is Valeria, I think. You guys have to correct me if I'm wrong with that. I don't know if that's a new character or Valeria in the middle at the top. And in the bottom left is a new character. I've never seen her before.
It will be vital to carefully assess your enemy and organize your party accordingly.
And then here we have some new characters as well that we don't know who they are.
Also,
And then this is going to talk about support characters.
consider including support members who will assist.
And here's Tuda from Suikoden 1 and 2 and 3. Tuda is a kid in Suikoden 1 and 2, but in Suikoden 3, Tuda's actually grown up a little bit.
The main party through various methods during combat.
Alright, here we have a kind of like an RTS battle, and these are the war battles that you got into in the other Suikoden games. This one kind of reminds me of Suikoden 5's war battles.
As the story unfolds, large-scale wars
Yeah,
involving
it's basically
multiple
like Suikoden
forces
5.
break out.
Just like Suikoden 5.
Think of which characters to employ in your unit. Make use of their war techniques and aim for victory.
Okay, when you engage an enemy, you get to a turn-based battle. I like that. So that's a lot better than Suikoden 5. In Suikoden 5, you engage an enemy and then they just battle, you know. You don't get to you don't go into battle like this. It's just like in Suikoden 5, it's like an RTS battle, you know. In this, you engage an enemy and it goes into a turn-based battle. That's cool. So I like that. That's a really cool. I'm gonna like the war battles in this game, basically. There was Flick. I think is this George? Hey, that's Kika from Suikoden 4. What the hell is she doing here? She's obviously one of the characters you can get from the gacha. Yep, that's Kika. She's pretty epic. If you played Suikoden 4, you know how epic Kika is. She's one of my favorite characters in that game.
Suikoden Star Leap.
Yep, coming soon. Didn't say a release date on Twitter though. It said the anime is coming in 2026, but since this says it's coming soon, that could be this year, honestly. But I think more likely next year, because it's already August right now, and they haven't revealed a release date. But coming soon, typically means coming soon, right? So it could be any time, but they're very vague on it. Like coming soon is what's their idea? We have to figure out Konami's idea of coming soon, and assuming no delays or anything like that. I mean, it could come out this year, and then when I think of coming soon, I would think like within 6 months, right? Just to give them a fair timeline, like I would say about 6 months. I think that's when we're looking at it, around that time period between now and 6 months, assuming no delays. I'd be really surprised if it says coming soon and then it comes out a year later. But I'll be fair with them, and I'll say within 6 months. So we're looking at this year up to, let's see, no, I'm going the wrong way. February 2026. So between now and February 2026 is what I'm thinking. But it's weird that they said that but in the anime reveal it says it's 2026, so that means this might be coming out in 2025, because it didn't say 2026. And if you remember correctly, with Suikoden HD, they didn't really even, like, it took them a while to reveal the damn release date of the damn game. It was like a month before it came out. So I'm assuming it's going to be a month before this comes out. They'll finally reveal the release date. And I like that, though, because there's too many games where they reveal a release date, but then it gets delayed. And then people get upset about it. You don't give a release date, you don't have to worry about that. And I don't have to worry about it either. I could just wait and not be like focused on that one date. And they're going to wait like a month before it comes out. They're going to reveal the release date, no delays, and it's going to come out. They're not giving a release date right now because it could get delayed. Stuff like that happens. I would be upset if it does, because I'm really looking forward to this, but, delays are good. Sometimes you gotta have delays to make a game better, and as long as they're improving the game, it's all good. But I'm very much looking forward to this. Gonna be spending a lot on this game. I already know I am. I'm a massive fan of the Suikoden series, and in the past, I've had a track record to spend a lot of money on gacha games. Naruto Online, over $2,000, and Hearthstone, over $3,000. So, Hearthstone's not a gacha game, but kind of is. But yeah, coming soon. I'm gonna be playing it on Steam. I recommend you play it on Steam as well, but if you have iOS and Android, play it on that, of course. But I recommend on Steam. And then we end it with Anji, Kanek, and Leonardo from Suikoden 1. I'm not sure why we ended on them, but like they were optional. Some people didn't even get them in the game. They didn't play a role in the storyline at all, really. So I'm not sure why they show them at the end. I'm assuming you get a ship from them and you'll be able to travel the world. This ship right here, maybe, and you can maybe explore other continents, maybe, on that ship. So maybe that's why they show them here, because you get their ship. That'd be kind of cool. But anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more Star Leap content. Whenever anything new drops, I will be the first to let you guys know about it. And I'm going to be playing it day one, of course, and making content for it, of course. I'd be stupid not to. I'm going to be the #1 content creator for Suikoden Star Leap. You already know. So, you love Suikoden like I do. Consider subscribing. I have tons of Suikoden content over the years that you can check out, including all bosses for pretty much all the games, walkthroughs of every game, 100% walkthroughs of every game. I recruited all the characters in all the games, so if you're interested in that, check it out. And thanks for watching. Later.